Hi, this is my first time doing an actual voiceover instead of getting a robot to do it. I normally don't do this because I hate my voice so much and I struggle with pronunciation. And I don't have a mic, so any background noise you hear is from my air conditioner and my pet ferret, Koga. He likes rattling his cage. Also, quick disclaimer, I have autism and I'm reading off a script. So if I sound stilted or robotic, or if my tone inflections and pronunciations are bad, and if I have unusual pauses, that is why. Okay, so let's begin. I've been using TikTok for a while, and one thing that pops up on my feed regularly has also popped up into my YouTube Shorts recommendations. I am not naming this content creator, but they have this weird niche of taking problematic artwork and recording themselves fixing it. There's a couple of issues with them doing that. There's a couple of issues with them doing that. For starters, they show the whole problematic artwork, which means that despite being anti problematic content as they claim, they're still exposing so called harmful content to a ton of people, most of whom I expect would be minors. It's really hard to tell people's age range when it comes to comment sections. You know, they could be older, they could be kids. Point being, you have no way of knowing, so they're exposing people to that kind of content. The second issue is that they're stealing said artwork and lightly editing it. The third, which relates to the first point, is that they're giving these particular artists more attention. If they really hate the kind of art that they're making, why don't these content creators just block them and not breathe a word about it? Everything is algorithm based these days. The more traffic these people get, the worse it's going to be for people who do not wish to see that sort of content. All this one content creator would have to do is just make their own version with their own art skills of the problematic content and make it non problematic. And that's it. Just do their own thing, post the process. The reason why this person and other people like them do not do this is because they both like the clout and because they're hoping for people to go harass the original artists, which is a big no considering that, what they're doing isn't harming real people, and hurting real people over something as stupid as, drawings is non-arguably far worse. I don't care what kind of content you like or don't like. When it comes to hurting real people over it, you don't do that. This whole trend of fixing art that isn't to your taste needs to quit. It isn't that hard to pick up a pencil and draw your own stuff. But if you make a spectacle out of someone else's, that's bound to bring in views, so I don't really trust any of these people who call out and otherwise bring attention to this stuff because they do not really mean it. It's just a way for them to stroke their holier than thou ego instead of actively contributing anything. And some people, too, have started to exploit people who fall for this obvious rage bait in hopes of getting internet fame. For example, I still use DeviantArt. And back in the day, DeviantArt drama was a big thing for YouTube, but apparently some people didn't get the memo that those days are good and gone because every once in a while, and I do mean frequently, like a couple times every couple months, I find a troll on DeviantArt who creates some of the most disgusting, abhorrent sort of artwork, but it's so low effort, they're just doing it to get reactions. You know the type. And people are falling for it every single time. Even if they're a troll, stop giving problematic people and people you don't like any attention, and we wouldn't have to keep repeating this dumb circus act of problematic person is everywhere online because people just can't shut up about them. Another example, and oh my goodness, you may still know who I'm talking about anyways, given he's really infamous, but it's a really big example anyways. There's this game developer that I'm sure everybody is sick of hearing about now, who made an infamous indie game where you play as. Okay, this would be giving too much away, but if you know, you know. If it sounds familiar, you know. Anyways, anyone has known about his nonsense for literally a years at this point. I think a decade by now, right? Since like what, 2014, maybe? Anyways, people are still making videos about him. I found a video that's like a couple days old about him. And these people never bring up anything new. They're still remaking the same old videos, rehashing the same old information from the past many years this guy's been talked about. It's like they're no longer beating a dead horse. They're digging up a horse fossil and grinding its bones because this is what draws in the views. It's all about the views and it's all about the freaking money it gets. And people still want to complain about how this developer in this game are not going away, but they still keep giving him in the game attention and exposing more people to him by talking about him. Not everybody is going to go, oh, ew, gross, I'm blocking that dude. And most will, out of either morbid curiosity or because they don't care, will still check him out. Give his videos massive views and bam, he still somehow stays in the mainstream, stays in the recommended. All because people just want to make some money and none of them actually are interested in doing the right thing. It's all soulless virtual signaling by people whose own moral compass is really a roulette wheel. I don't know how to end this ramble, so I hope you've enjoyed this art thing, this art process. This is my OC, Twig, and she's playing in the rain, and the frog in her pocket is her pet called Leaf. I hope to make more videos, but I may just stick with using a robot voiceover, depending on how I feel and how much positive versus negative reception this video gets. Or I might just alternate. Anyways, if anyone has any commentary suggestions, I'll be happy to take them. Thank you.